How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Goodbye. Goodbye to 2024. Hello, 2025. Instead of just covering what's happening in the news today, I want to go over the three biggest things that have happened this year, and they are relevant for right now because people are fudding these exact same things right now. They're worried about what's happening, why the market has been dipping over the last week or so. So I want to go through this, talk about some of the big pieces of news that have come out recently and throughout the year, and explain where Bitcoin's going to go in 2025. In my opinion, towards the end, we will look at a few other charts as well for some altcoins like Solana, Ethereum, XRP, etc. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. If you want to, you can check out CoinW underneath the video. There we have some trading competitions where you can get some free crypto just for trading on the platform. Depending on how much volume you trade, you get more Solana, up to 55 Solana, and you can leverage trade on here, all different kinds of assets. And they're also giving you a professional trading group for free. It's just a Telegram group that some of my subscribers have joined. All you have to do is trade on the platform, and then you can get access to it. It's always in the description as well, but definitely check this out underneath the video. Like I said, I wanted to go over where crypto is and some of the big pieces of news that have come out this year. So just today, we got news of IBIT selling. So we had some selling from GBTC, a negative $135 million day, Grayscale Mini, negative $32 million, ARKB, $26 million, BITB, $31 million, FBTC, $155 million out, IBIT, negative $36 million. So much red yesterday. Keep in mind, these are hedge funds. They might be trying to lock in some gains. This is still relatively small compared to what we've seen throughout the year. So just back in January, we got approval for the Bitcoin ETFs. It was a very close call. The spot Bitcoin ETFs, though, were approved. And just a few days ago, Bloomberg said that the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF is the greatest launch in ETF history. You know, people have been watching other assets too. It's not just been Bitcoin that's done really well this year. We've seen the S&P 500 do really well. We've seen tech stocks do really well. We've seen gold go up 27%. But is this drawing in the same attention as Bitcoin? Not even close. You can see gold had $454 million net inflows for the year, and Bitcoin had $36.8 billion in net inflows. Now, the asset value is actually much higher than that now because Bitcoin's appreciated throughout the year. At the beginning of the year, when BlackRock was pushing this to clients, Bitcoin went from 48,000 to 38,000 the day after approval. So some of these people that got in on the IBIT ETF are up 2.5x. Now, you can see where institutions are trying to invest money. They're trying to buy Bitcoin. This was one of the biggest pieces of news throughout the year, and I think we're going to continue to see this. Now, we can see little dips. We've seen this in the past several times. I mean, look at any of these dips here. Back in March, back in April, back in June, back in August. Like, these little dips happen and then we just rip up. So we're going to probably continue to see more and more institutions get approval by compliance departments to buy these ETFs or to start pushing them. And yeah, people want the outperformance, and they're probably going to be buying even more next year. Some people are estimating we even see more in inflows next year than this year. Another big thing that's happened this year is the accumulation of Bitcoin from treasuries. Now, I think a lot of people don't even remember where Michael Saylor was at the beginning of the year. So back in February, Michael Saylor announced that in January, MicroStrategy had acquired 850 Bitcoin for $37.2 million. People were pissed off a few days ago when he announced that they bought $200 million worth of Bitcoin. This is after 7 or 8 straight weeks of buys. Keep in mind, it took them a full month to buy $37 million worth of Bitcoin at the beginning of the year. They had 190,000 Bitcoin at the time, and they were one of the largest holders. Now, they hold 446,000 Bitcoin. So they bought throughout the year over 250,000 Bitcoin in 1 year. And they've accelerated throughout the year. So a lot of people forget how far we've come with MicroStrategy and how much they've bought throughout the year. And they're not the only company. We've seen 70 other publicly traded companies that are adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. Keep in mind, there are a lot of non-public companies are probably doing the same thing. It's actually easier for them to do it because they just have an owner that are adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets, or the owners are just withdrawing and putting on their own balance sheet. So we have 3 figures at least of companies, probably 4 figures of companies that are adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets, and they're companies with real cash flows. They're companies that are taking out debt to buy more Bitcoin. They see the long-term possibility of Bitcoin, and they don't want to be stuck holding cash for years. So it will be interesting to see how this continues in 2025. I think with the change in accounting rules, and also with the change to, SAB 121, I think that is what's named, the rule that basically didn't allow banks to hold Bitcoin, that's changing a bit. There are certain banks like BNY Mellon that are going to be able to buy and hold Bitcoin for clients. I think with those changes, it's going to be much easier for more companies to get into this space, to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And I would not be surprised if this accelerated in 2025. We also know Trump won the election. This was one of the biggest pieces of news. Since then, Bitcoin went from 66,000 all the way up to 108,000 within about a month. This is absolutely insane news, and part of this is because of the promises they made. He said, well, first of all, he was the keynote speaker at the largest Bitcoin conference in the world. He said, for far too long, our government has violated the cardinal rule that every Bitcoiner knows by heart: never sell your Bitcoin. So we have the president-elect, soon to be president in 3 weeks, saying never sell your Bitcoin. He also pledged to maintain the current level of Bitcoin holdings that the U.S. has amassed after seizing assets from financial criminals. He said that the United States will keep 100% of the Bitcoin that they currently hold. He also said, day one, I will fire Gary Gensler. Since then, we already know that Gary Gensler said that he's going to step down, he's going to step away, along with some of the other anti-crypto politicians. He's also said that he's going to lower interest rates. So he's going to make the Fed cut rates, which he can't really do, but he could put some pressure on them. And then also he said all Bitcoin will be mined in America, which he doesn't really have any effect on. He can't force that to happen. But I think what he's trying to get at is that he can make it a lot easier for Bitcoin miners. He's met with Bitcoin miners. So we could see maybe more pro-crypto laws for Bitcoin miners and for crypto companies, which would be really beneficial, I think. So we're going to continue to see how this shakes up, or how this works out in the next 3-4 weeks. But this is probably the most hyped piece of news of all time in Bitcoin and in crypto. If you had told someone 10 years ago that was in crypto, or 14 years ago in crypto, that we're going to have a president-elect who's going to become president in a couple weeks, that literally holds Bitcoin, has a DeFi project that's been buying different cryptos. He's saying that he's saying that the government is going to be buying Bitcoin and that they are going to be very pro-crypto. I think those people wouldn't believe you. Like the amount of change that has happened over the last 15 years is insane. The last year, it's been insane how much change there's been. And I wanted to point that out because we can get caught up in the day-to-day, right? We look at Bitcoin and it's down 2% in the last 30 days. Ethereum's down 8%. But look at what this has done year-to-date. 126% year-to-date gain for Bitcoin. 50% for Ethereum. XRP with 250%. BNB with 127%. Solana, 94%. Dogecoin, 266%. Like, these are insane returns. Anyone would kill to have these returns in traditional finance. And we've been able to do that. So I think we have to be happy. We have to look ahead with what can happen in the future. But yeah, this is going to be an exciting year in my opinion. I think this could be the biggest year for crypto ever. And yeah, I don't think we're overheated either. I mean, take a look at some of these cryptos. You can see XRP hitting this trend line for the 3rd time, bouncing off of it. Actually, the 4th time. Bouncing off of it. Perfect setup. We have Solana that got rejected by this trend line 3 times and then flipped into support, now starting to rally up. Ethereum still looking pretty weak against Bitcoin, specifically against Bitcoin. I know we didn't look at these XRP and Solana against Bitcoin, so it's a little bit unfair, but you can see it's starting to make a little move up. It's about 12% up from the recent low against Bitcoin. So maybe Ethereum can rally a little bit against Bitcoin, but it's been a lagger for sure. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting year. It's going to be interesting. Keep in mind, there's going to be tons of volatility. Be ready for anything. Say goodbye to 2024 because 2025 is here and things are going to look very different. If you just look at how fast everything is changing in crypto, things are going to look very different at the end of next year too. Set your plans up. Make sure that you have a plan for taking profits or for dollar cost averaging or whatever you're going to do for trading. Get those plans in place because volatility is coming and you want to keep a good head on your shoulders. Again, if you do want to leverage trade, if you want to try that, or if you want to just try a different platform, right? You can check out the link to CoinW underneath the video. We've been able to make insane returns on leverage trading, but of course there comes a significant amount of risk. So make sure you know what you're doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next one.